It's Coffee Talk with sylabdul. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe now.
Wake up in the morning, eyes crusty, heavy yawning. My phone keep going off, so I shut off the alarm and then head into the kitchen to get the coffee brewing. French roast with French vanilla, my own French revolution. Next movement is to tune into Coffee Talk with Sil. My girl is starts to yap if I tell her she needs to chill. I hear enough of the yapping from all of these goofy shills. Plus I'm trying to be informed of whatever's the latest deal, for real.
So, with Supergirl coming out,
Yawn.
this is a movie that I'm as far as the director of the film, Craig Gillespie, I think he's actually going to make a decent film. The problem, me and Jules, we had a video out about this. My issue with Supergirl as far as how they're marketing it is James Gunn written all over it, and I just don't think that's a positive for Craig Gillespie's directing style. That's my problem, with that. I think with you, Jules, is it just overall just like you're just not feeling nothing from a DCU?
No, it's all just campy stuff for kids. Like, it's just like I've said this multiple times. This is taking us backwards from a genre perspective. Like that's funny. We waited so long to make respectable films with our superheroes in them, and now all of a sudden we're getting all these fart jokes and stuff again. So,
Because the super, and again I'm talking about the marketing. Because I think once I see this Supergirl this summer, I think I'm gonna like it better actually than Superman.
from a directorial perspective,
Yeah, I just think it's gonna be it's a put together film. The star of the film, I think Millie Alcott's gonna be great. I am looking forward to Jason Momoa. And so with this Lobo reveal, this was a thing. It was blink and you miss it in the trailer.
yeah, in the first trailer.
And and it's just like, okay, the normies don't even know what's even in this film. So now they put together, James Gunn said, hey, we're gonna let the streets know, Jason Momoa Lobo is here. So let's roll it. Don't ding me. So they said thoughts playing Lobo. So this is all Jason Momoa, right? Do you think Jason Momoa at least can help with the marketing?
Yeah, people love Jason
like
Momoa.
Jason. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. So Minecraft.
I actually saw one comment. They were like, "Oh, was that the Minecraft guy?" Like, yeah, the Minecraft guy. Like,
That's what he's known. But that's right. Obviously, that's like Gen Z. So it's like obviously Momoa, because he did great with Aquaman. That was like kind of like a generation ago now. And then now you got Minecraft. He's huge in. He's going to be in Street Fighter. So Momoa is going to help, I think, sell this film. I just don't know. Again, will the normies get it right? So let's see. And that's a good shot to me. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good shot to me.
this already looks from a directorial, like a cinematography perspective, a lot better than Superman did.
So I like this first. This is our first shot really seeing, Lobo here. I mean, that's Lobo. So this is what I want to kind of get into here. Because there's one thing to be like, okay, will his style infect this film? I think that's a very fair worry, right?
We've already seen it.
It's at least affected the marketing, and the P on the. Does that have to be in the film? Maybe they can cut that part, So that danger is there, and I'm with everyone that wants to have that conversation. Seeing Momoa as Lobo, like this is Lobo. I don't know what else people wanted here. Do they want CGI paint or what? Okay, what's for you? Jules, what's off about just for you personally?
Yeah, let me see if I can get my list ready here. So first of all, he doesn't look, outside of Momoa, obviously, like he is Lobo, like he's just playing himself, right? That's not a knock on him. Like obviously it's easy casting, like why not? The issue here is this looks like low production quality. This doesn't look that much different from CW. The face paint is obvious. Like those markings on his face are supposed to be his skin. He's an alien. He just looks like some rocker dude with some makeup on his face and some Metallica like makeup or whatever, looking like Gene Simmons kind of thing, right? Like I'm waiting for him to stick out his tongue. The costuming the motorcycle looks like a regular motorcycle. I know sometimes in the comics, he does have like a regular Earth looking motorcycle, but would it be that crazy to want something a little bit more alien looking? Like, I want to feel like this man came from outer space, and I don't get that here at all.
Okay. Fair. Like I said, I'm just like, Momoa has the look, and we definitely got to see it, in action and everything. I think I have a better shot. People are saying the low res shot that would hurt a lot of things. A low res shot.
Well, there is an AI enhanced photo going around now on Twitter, so just in case that pop up.
Yeah, I have a shot where here we go.
Yeah, I think that's the one that's like AI enhanced. But look, you can see, like, the markings on his face are obviously makeup. Like, they're going to be coming off throughout the movie while he's getting hit. Like, that's stupid.
So that's interesting because, like, I'm trying to avoid saying, oh, well, in the comics, but really in the comics, like, he is like, his skin is like, it's not like painted like, it's like Lobo is a pale skin, like a whatever you call that type of white. Like, that's his skin.
Yeah.
And like you said, this is coming across his face paint.
It's coming across it like this is like giving me like low res Mad Max vibes. Like the wig is obviously a wig. Like, it looks like I know he's a rocker and he's supposed to look grungy and dirty, but it's like, and then Momoa also looks like he hasn't worked out in a few months. Like, why is his face chubby? Like, his arms are not really defined that much. It's like, what happened here? Like, Lobo is supposed to be larger than life, and I'm not feeling that. Outside of his personality, he's supposed to be like larger than life personality wise and physically, and it's not happening. And I also don't know how mainstream Lobo is to the general audience. I've never ever heard any random person mentioning Lobo in anything. It's only like the comic book fans that talk about Lobo and they love Lobo.
Right. This is like Black Adam all over again.
Yeah.
As far as just a level, if you want to, you could stretch and make him a B-lister. He's probably more C-lister to general audience. Because, like I said, talking with Jules all the time, I'm learning, like, I could try to bring on my comic book knowledge to this, but that's not movie audience conversations.
No. Sorry, but like, the comic book nerds is a small minority here. Like, sure,
that's a fringe.
They hold the Bible, and you should, try to stay close to it as much as possible. But at the same time, and we also know there's no such thing as a movie star anymore. People don't go to the theater for a particular actress or actor. They go for the character. So whether
or the IP,
whether or not Jason Momoa is in this, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go watch Jason Momoa and Supergirl because he's in that. I'm going to watch because he's in that. Like, you might get a few people, but that's not going to be the majority.
And that's fair, because you look at, again, Momoa doing great in theaters, because, like you said, people say that's the Minecraft guy now, right, for this generation. So, but that's that IP. Minecraft sold that film.
Right.
The IP.
Minecraft sold the film. Jack Black didn't sell the film, who was arguably the largest name in that whole cast. Jason Momoa certainly didn't, and he looked chubby there too. Like,
But so that's a fair, because when this film was first, like, Supergirl was announced and that Momoa's gonna be Lobo, and again, the comic book geek in me is like, oh yeah, that's great. Like, I can't wait to see this, because in the comics this and this happens, right? So
it'd be an easy home run.
You would think, but then you're like, okay, let's look at the general audience, and let's see what just happened with Superman. Right now, we can have this fair assessment. Superman, did was 614 million. And that didn't blow any doors off there, but that's kind of showing the gauge of general audience and DC. And that's Superman, a well-known international brand. And so Supergirl, lesser known, Lobo, lesser than that known. What are we really expecting? And that's why the report I put out last month is that they're expecting Black Adam level.
Yeah, like
with Supergirl. Yeah. So
that's what I see also. Like, if I had to pick and choose a range, it'll probably be in somewhere in the 300s. If it breaks 400, good for them. But I just don't see it, especially with a stacked summer of movies that are going to be coming out. Good luck to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're definitely they would actually be happy if it's Black Adam level. That's around 400 million. Black Adam got less than that. I'm expecting between 400 and 500. I'm a little more generous. I'm expecting
always,
400 to 500.
We are. So we got to take off 100 out of Syl's prediction, and we'll probably be close to that.
Well, that's why Jules here to balance my optimism of everything. It works perfectly. So
the red eyes. So the whole thing is not red, just the pupils are red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get the criticism with. I mean, okay, what do you think could make this better? Just so it doesn't look like so painted on. That's really the issue?
Yeah, it should just look like his skin. Like he should look
Right.
almost like how a vampire looks really pale, but you can tell it's their skin that's pale. He's not giving that here. He looks like they went to Party City. They put on they got some witch makeup, and then they painted his face.
Slapped it on there.
Yeah, and found a leather jacket that looks a little worn, beat up. They threw that on him. They got a bad wig again from Party City. Didn't brush it out. Just put it on.
Didn't brush it out. So they should have CGI'd his skin.
It's probably not even needed CGI. It could have been just a better makeup job.
It's a better job. Okay.
Maybe use some type of prosthetics to give him more of an alien vibe. Like, be a little creative with it. Like, and that's been the problem, I think, with Gunn's films so far, right? Is that they all kind of just, they lack a visual quality to it, that it kind of just takes people out of it a bit. Especially when we're used to like all these big masterpieces where like Dune, for example, is a spectacle. You're gonna watch them. You know everyone there is that top of the line production quality. Everything there looks amazing. So if it's supposed to feel alien, it's gonna feel alien. Things feel otherworldly. James Gunn just doesn't have that kind of creativity or the talent to do that. Sorry to say this shit.
So, like I said, I think that is a fair criticism of this. The comment here saying he's basically like Joker paint on his face. Like, that's kind of wild. If you think about it, his skin should be more texture similar to Drax. That, you know what? That's a fair. I'm glad someone just thought of an example, because I was like, how can these characters look if you got to paint their skin? Well, Drax looked perfect for Marvel. Dave Bautista's character. And I think they painted his skin like what, purple or something, or whatever he was like that, and I didn't get like these vibes that people are saying that Lobo has. So
yeah, he definitely had some kind of texture as far as like lines and stuff. Like, it looked like it was in his skin, but it almost looked so natural you don't even really notice. It just becomes part of the character. But yeah, like, why is the black paint coming off? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, what are we doing here?
That's actually interesting. I mean, again, my fanboy side of me is like, oh, we got Lobo, but again, what I keep being reminded is like the general audience, they don't see these films like through my lens. Like they don't care about all the years of comic books that I've read. You know, is this going to land for new people or not? And that remains to be seen. That just remains to be seen. You know, overall,
for many people, for many people, this is going to be their first introduction ever to Lobo.
Yeah. I'm saying they're introducing Lobo they're trying to introduce to the masses, and just because of Jason Momoa, it may not matter, right? If it don't land, they're not like, basically, this isn't Supergirl, you know, starring Jason Momoa, and come see this for Jason Momoa. It's like, no, they're just going to happen to see this film and realize, oh, Jason Momoa's in this, you know, if they see it. So that's kind of where we're at.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see.
We got some positive people about Lobo, so I'm leaning more towards the positive. Again, it's my geek radar. I know that's what's taking control of my thoughts, because I'm just like, Lobo live action, let's go.
Well, you know, some people will take anything just to have something, but you know, some of us actually like things to be high quality. You know, whether it's costume design, story wise, whatever.
You talking about me?
I'm talking in general.
I take anything?
If you feel a little bit attacked, then maybe you should, you know, reassess your views. I don't know.
It felt very directed towards me. It's okay. It's okay. I'm used to Jules by now.
Look, these movies are literally have budgets, hundreds of millions of dollars go into these movies. So yeah, they should look better.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. I think it's fair criticism if people aren't liking this face paint slapped on, because this is the what do you call it, the AI high res, I guess,
right?
And it's seeing it. I mean, like I said, this is the video that James gonna share, and it's like kind of low res. You maybe they could touch this up some.
Yeah, they can.
Just like I said with the Superman suit last year.
You did. I was just going to bring that up because I was saying that suit is baggy. You're like, oh, they'll fix it in post. It's not baggy. Meanwhile, it comes out. That shit
it's
is
the
baggy.
same suit. Now, what they did though, I saw Gunn really paid attention to the angles in the entire film. So it didn't, you know what I mean? Because behind the scenes stuff, that suit was looking terrible. Right.
The general audience was talking about how that suit was baggy after they saw that movie. So.
But they did a good job trying to hide that. That was the point.
They tried, but not good enough.
Not good enough for Jules. And
yeah, that's another good comment. Jason couldn't shave. Like, yeah, I mean, Lobo has facial hair, but he has different styles of facial hair throughout, you know, the comics and all the different media. But yeah, like he just looks like a goat. Like he has like a crazy. I don't. It looks so messy and gross. It was like Lobo's. I probably one of his best looks when he has like the 5 o'clock shadow mixed with like that long mustache that doesn't connect to chin kind of thing. And yeah, like the CW. This doesn't look that much different from CW Lobo. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, this is it. I expected so much better.
This is what I would say with the Krypton show, right? Another for the watch party. That Lobo, like I said, I'm getting the same vibes, but like you said, the movies, the big screen should look even better.
This is a big budget movie. What do you mean this looks like a TV show?
Yeah, that is true. I would
get that or cable, like low end cable.
I didn't think that he looked bad in the TV show. It's just I'm getting similar. It's like this is very similar to a TV show.
You'd never be able to compare a big budget film to a TV show.
Yeah, that's
never.
Fair. That's fair. It says Zack Snyder, Nolan, and Russo set the bar so high that nothing coming out now can stand beside them except Travis Knight. I
don't know who that is. But look, it's not even about them setting the bar so high. It's just it's basic quality. There are other IP. Yeah, this is Timu Lobo. Like,
it's your favorite go-to. Timu.
There are other high quality films being made in different IPs. So why should we have to settle for this? I want this movie to look as good as Dune, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it's again.
Doomsday looks way better than this, and we've only seen teasers. Also, you get a good idea of what something feels like with the teaser. That's the whole point of a teaser,
right? You're trying to put that foot forward with these teasers.
Trying to build excitement.
This gives me another opportunity to put up Cyclops. This made Avengers like $1 billion. This
shot right here. They don't even need to do anything. I don't need to see any trailer. Just post this little still. See Doomsday, comes out this day.
Avengers, it was already going to make $1 billion, right? Like adding the Fox X-Men it's going to be $2 billion.
Yeah, it's going to be a spectacle for everyone, and it's going to be insane. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and so it's like this was my problem with DC up to this point is that even if I say Superman's watchable, but I don't want to fight with Jules right now. But the point is, I should be able to feel this type of excitement when I'm watching DC. When you just see Cyclops blasting in the air, that's what I should be feeling, right? With DC, and I'm not there yet. It's not hitting me like that, So that's a criticism I can understand.
Overall, I think people are just bored with getting the same old. I mean, everybody looks dirty and grungy in the Supergirl movie, and obviously that's Lobo's thing. But why does everybody else look like that? Like, where's the individuality with these characters and their personas? Like, everyone's the same. Copy paste.
We just want epic stuff, man. Like
that's it. That's all we want. These are comic book superhero movies. Like, we want larger than life stuff happening here.
Yeah, and with Superman, I put the question in the YouTube chat. Are you liking Jason Momoa Lobo? We're gonna see. There's some vocal people both ways here, but it's a fast no. Okay.
I honestly will say I think people will gravitate to say yes for two reasons. Obviously, if they're diehard comic book movies, they're just happy to see Lobo, and Jason Momoa is a lovable guy. Like, you don't want to say anything bad about Jason Momoa. Everyone speaks very highly of him. But if we're just going to be completely honest, like, after people get over the whole first impression, it's similar to what they did with the Superman movie, right? Like, people like hyped it up to the max when it first came out. And now people are like, yeah, that movie was mid. Or like, it got way too hyped. Like people are now like looking back at it like, yeah, it wasn't that great. Like I'm not rewatching it. It's gonna be the same thing with this.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. I mean, let's see in the chat here, we're got mostly no's. We just got a handful of votes right now, but like I said, I'm of that crowd that Jules keeps throwing shots at. That I am just happy we got Lobo. I'm just going to admit it. Like I'm
But
just
that's the problem. If you're just happy and just settling with whatever, they're gonna keep giving us slop.
Well, hey, I mean, I'm not going to determine how successful this is going to be. Like if it doesn't perform, I'll be right there, clowning the performance, like everything else. But my initial thought was like, oh, okay, Jason Momoa Lobo. It was a good shot on the motorcycle, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to see what's going to happen here. And then when you kind of get these frames, you're like, oh, the face paint and all this. It's like, okay, I kind of see why some people aren't as excited, as I initially was for this. So that's just where I'm at with that. But in the chat, continue to vote on that. We're going to double back and see how well that does overall. So we're kind of in the DC portion of the conversation today. Oh, is there still more of this trailer? Hold on. Okay. All right. We don't need the music because I don't need to.
Yeah, it's just the same old style as always.
Yeah.
Graffiti,
I mean, hey,
ooh, so cool.
But my final take on before we move on from the Supergirl stuff is, again, fan of the director, Craig Gillespie, Millie Alcock. I think it's going to be great in the film. I think Lobo's going to be okay. Maybe just don't have any close-ups of his painted face and, some action. So I'm good. But I'm supposed to feel like this, though. Like, and this is what I'm saying.
Every time I see a superhero, I should feel like this.
Yeah. This is the feeling, because as soon as you see it, you're like, okay, epic. This is like Man of Steel, moments in the film, epic. That's how I want to feel. So that's kind of my gauge.
Like I don't want to be bored. Take me to another universe. I just want to be entrenched in the story. And these are just popcorn flicks. Here today, gone tomorrow.
I think Gunn style, and I know people have different takes on Gunn style, but Gunn style is very character driven, like a character story. And that could work in like different genres. I just don't know, like long term, like DC, I'm not there for that. I just want an emotional story, like, okay, like in the Superman film, if I rewatch it now, the best parts of that film to me is the Clark and Lois scenes. And do we need a big budget, $200 million film for Clark? You can make that a TV show. If that's what you're good at, Gunn, you know what I mean? Like, do a Clark and Lois TV show, stream it.
Right.
Because this ain't big, epic film stuff. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's why I think he sticks to those B, C, D list tier characters, because that's more in line with his skill set. He knows who he is, and he's obviously shooting really high with taking over the DC. Yeah.
Yeah, far away look at Lobo. I'm just saying, just don't do too many close-ups. Have him do action. But I mean, I will say though, I did. It straight up just looked like, okay, let's pull the picture back up. This is just straight up Jason Momoa with white
and face paint and a wig. And a wig.
It really is. Like
they didn't even style his beard at all. They were just like, "Oh, you came on set that day. All right, cool. Did you shower? Who cares? Like, all right, let's put some makeup on."
Did you shower? Who cares? Because if I have this shot, because I was saying I wanted to get away from this, but Momoa, he's in Street Fighter as Blanca, right? That's that green guy, and I thought I had a shot of that, because my point is that looks great, him in Street Fighter, and he's green. And it's just, man.
Yeah, Street Fighter went crazy with the character designs. Like, you can tell they spent money as opposed to this.
So I don't think I have the shot, so I'm just gonna move on from this. But the point is just, it didn't land for everybody, and that's okay. And this summer we'll see how that translates overall with DC. I'm pulling for DC to get better, y'all. I really am. But we'll see with that.
I don't know.
Yeah, not landing. Well, so what do you with Man of Tomorrow, Gunn is going to make Man of Tomorrow, and
Unfortunately,
let's say Netflix closes this thing. The way it's leaning, let's say Netflix gets the DC. If Man of Tomorrow is more of the same, or what do you think Man of Tomorrow has to do in a sense to save James Gunn's job, if you think it's even savable?
I would think it has to obviously do way more than Superman, which I think finished off like a tad above 6. I think it did, because they had that last minute. They had that last minute push those last couple of weeks. I think it really has to do like 750 on the low end. But if they really, if he wants to secure his job, at least 8. 750 would still be like, it's the second Superman movie, and you still can't crack, 800. Like
right.
It's Superman. Wonder Woman made almost 800 her first movie, and that was the first ever Wonder Woman movie. Nothing came out before her, and she's a female character. But you're telling me with a Superman movie, the most recognizable symbol on Earth, and you can't break 800?
Yeah, I'm thinking definitely 700 plus. I think would relax people. 800 is a stretch because we talked about this with.
The reason I say 8 is if Supergirl bombs the way that we expect it to, and if it makes 400, that's not good. I don't care what how they try to spin it. That's not good for a superhero movie. So
be prepared on that one. But
I don't give a shit. It is what it is. Like we're talking about superhero movies. We're gonna compare it to other superhero movies. If Black Adam failed and it just missed that 400 mark,
it did fail. Yeah.
Supergirl making 400 is gonna be on the same level. I don't care how they try to spin it, how much they budgeted. Oh, we got made this much profit. I don't care. It didn't make a lot of money. It only made 400. So in order for him to secure his job, he has to show that he has the vision to continue being at the helm of this IP. And 3 mid movies, one that was a complete failure if Supergirl fails, is not going to bode well for him. So he's going to have to beyond hit it out of the park with Man of Tomorrow.
And the thing, the concern, if people are pulling for Man of Tomorrow, the issue it's going to have is, okay, you came out with a Superman film, reboot, so you can't blame, Henry Cavill Superman.
No, this has nothing to do with what came before. This is all brand new.
Rebooted, right? You rebooted this, and you're using the brand Superman, and 614 did great domestically, right? I mean that is
yeah.
But then some international territories, it totally
they didn't like it at all.
China, Japan, Germany, France. It did decent in the UK.
I don't even know how it did in Latin America. I don't think it did that well.
I don't think Spain didn't do good in certain areas there. So the point is, okay, let's say you get repeat business with Man of Tomorrow. Domestically, I'm sure it'll get the same domestically. Well, let's say it does 400 domestically, goes crazy. How are you going to get this new audience? And if international already kind of
turned off on it, they're like, I'm not watching it.
How are you going to sell China? That's basically my point. How are you going to get China? Because if Gunn figures this out, I'm just, like I said, I just go off the results. If, it bombed in China, BVS did good in China, though they cut the runtime. Aquaman did great in China. So Batman did, the Reeves Batman did okay. So China likes DC stuff when it's good to them. If he can sell China, then I think, Gunn will save his job. If it's a repeat business, I think Netflix is going to be like, okay, we really don't need this style. Isn't going to.
China is absolutely the key. And at the same time, like based on what the general audience has been saying this past year, now that all the hype had died down from Superman, like I see a lot of comments that are saying, oh, well, you know what? It actually wasn't that good. So like how many repeat watchers can we really guarantee is going to come to see Man of Tomorrow?
I mean, I think James Gunn has a fan base too. Like he
does.
And now of course they didn't, push this film like
he's
Guardians
not a household
3.
name the way they try to make it seem like, though.
Right. Guardians 3, which was the template, I thought, for the Superman film to come out, do decent, and then leg it out, repeat viewers. Superman, you had that first rush of people, and then it legged it for a good month, and then they actually pulled it, I think, under 45 days, I think?
Yeah.
So that's... When Netflix coming in the building, like Jules, we just talked about, they're thinking about doing 17 days for some films.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
if
they just
Man,
expanded it when people were
well,
complaining.
well, yeah, they're saying,
40.
like,
I
oh
think they're
no, we're
saying
gonna do 40.
45.
But if a film comes out, let's say it does a good opening weekend and then it has a huge drop second weekend, they're pulling that in 17 days. I think that's
Yeah.
what Netflix is going to do.
Yep.
So they're not going to commit to that. See, they're going to give these films a chance and say, oh, yeah, well, you know, if you do okay, we'll let you get 45 days. But if you have like a 60% plus drop second weekend,
No, if it's costing
you're
them,
out
they're
here.
not. If it's costing them, they're not going to put it out. Do that.
Yeah.
We'll throw it on the streamer. Why are we going to waste money with the theater?
So now Supergirl is going to be able to kind of beat this, because I think that would be a candidate for a 17-day film.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you, let's say Supergirl comes out and again it does similar to Black Adam, that they're not going to leave it in there 45 days. Man of Tomorrow, it's going to be a lot of pressure on that film. Man of Tomorrow, it's going to be hugely.
Everything, his whole career basically is on the shoulders of Man of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just don't know how they're going to get that extra money. I could see it doing 600 again, just like I'm just.
That's
personally.
not good enough, though.
So how are you going to again sell these other territories, and specifically China? How are you going to sell? Because you can get an easy 100 million.
We'll see how
from
they react to Supergirl. Honestly, because everybody already has it as that's James Gunn's movie, even though it's Craig Gillespie's. He's the director. People still look at it like, well, James Gunn made that movie. It has his.
Well, he's the Feige. He's the Feige of DC. Right. So, for better or worse, he's going to bear. You know, if this film bombs, it's not going to kill Craig Gillespie's career. No. You know, because everyone knows he's answering the gun. So, like I said, we'll see. And I don't think he's even going to kill Millie Alcott's career. I think she's going to do great.
Absolutely not. Her career is just getting started.
Yeah, but it's like if it's just the film doesn't work for everyone. You know, I think everyone just kind of move on and, you know, just kind of, okay, let's not do this anymore.
Look, that's why they didn't give him a big extension on that contract. So they knew everyone's 50-50 on him right now. And if China, which is the second biggest market besides the US, rejects Supergirl again, that's a pretty clear indicator that they're probably just rejecting Gunn's DCU altogether.
So the Supergirl is going to be an interesting conversation this summer, because we are going to have to see like what will be our conclusion if it does. You know what I'm being told what they expected to do already. You know, Black Adam level. What is going to be that conversation? Like, man, like is this brand floundering? It's low budget, so you know I think that's how they're going to kind of spin it. You know, saying we only spent $100 million on it, so their internal number is probably 375 for Supergirl. Now. Their internal number for Superman was 500, but you know that it had to do more than that. You know what I mean? So with Supergirl, same thing. If your internal number is 375, you better be close to the 500 million.
Yep.
You know, in my opinions, and that's not a guarantee, right? But enough Supergirl bashing. Let's see. In the chat, we got 67% not liking the Lobo look. So that's kind of what I was expecting with that. Peacemaker season 2 sucked. I would say James Gunn, I'm understanding his style is very character driven, and it was actually an interesting character study in Peacemaker. Now, people aren't watching Peacemaker for epic DC action and stuff like that. So for what it is, I actually thought he did good until the finale. I think the finale was terrible with Peacemaker season 2. Just like Creature Commandos, I think Gunn has a finale problem. Like he has a climax problem basically with
the third act.
Yeah, he can't bring that home. He's kind of like pulling out, like and like this is really what I'm feeling with these stories. And he, you know, Superman actually had a decent third act, but anyway, we're gonna talk about that. So Peacemaker, I know Jules didn't see it, so I'm just gonna go to another comment.
I saw Peacemaker 1, but
yeah, I didn't really like the first one. Let's catch up with the comments, and then we're gonna get to we got one more story, then the Snyder stuff for sure. So we got Jules comfortable at home. You know, there's an ice storm out there, so we got her for a couple hours here. So that's good.
Take advantage.
Take advantage while we got her here. So Peacemaker 2 would not be in the watch party. Okay. The buddy team up of Lex and Superman just doesn't work with it being direct sequel from Superman.
That's like the stupidest idea. just knowing what happened in the first Superman movie, like how do you go from that to like, oh, let's team up for this other bad guy?
That aspect, I'm not sure how that's selling the film, right? Like,
Trope, another trope.
It's like, okay, let's say you think the first Superman film is decent, right? So that this cancels out Jules here. Those that think it's just decent, the next stage is Superman and Lex teams up. I mean, it could be reasons, right? The Lex character will try to save mankind, no matter how evil you think Lex is. His feelings against Superman is that he's an alien, right? That it, like in BVS, what Ben Affleck was kind of voicing, that's really how Lex is in the comics. You know, he's an alien sent here to destroy us. That's how. But you know, Ben Affleck did it wonderfully. But that's the attitude, right? So if we got that type of Lex in James Gunn Superman, I'm like, oh, you know, he was just like a mustache twirling bad guy in James Gunn Superman. So I'm like, okay, where is this going to take? You know, this next evolution. Oh, they're going to team up. It's like, okay, I get the Lex character again. If Brainiac's coming to destroy the world, okay, Superman, you got to help me save mankind. That's what Lex would do, you know. But do I want that? That's what.
Right. Is it too soon for that? Like, shouldn't there be some type of a little bit of reclamation arc for Lex? Why would they even let him out of jail?
And man, they showed him Lex is a big. Oh, it's not a big cameo, but a short cameo in Peacemaker season 2. What's the guy's name that plays? But Nicholas Hoult. Nicholas Hoult is in Peacemaker, so it's actually a good scene, and it was almost like he was playing a different Lex. Now I guess this, you know, it's post Superman, so he's kind of hardened, but I kind of rather that Lex than Superman. So it's kind of weird feeling watching on Peacemaker season 2, but I just this needs more pop to it, just in my opinion. Now, will I just take anything I get? No, Jules, I won't. But it has to be a much more in this Man of Tomorrow film, because Brainiac didn't give it the pop that it should have gotten either.
At all.
That worries me.
Literally, no one cared. And honestly, I think if he goes with the same tone in this movie, people are immediately going to be turned off. Because a lot of people were complaining that, you know, the movie in general was pretty campy, which seems to be Gunn's style, whether he wants to admit it or not. It is what it is. And Lex, we all complained about Eisenberg's Lex Luthor and BVS being super campy and weird and unrealistic. But yet Nicholas Holt's character is probably super campy and goofy to the point where it's like it was made in like the 70s or something. Like that Lex probably belongs in the Adam West Batman TV show. It's so camp. Like some of the scenes that I saw of him, I was like, oh my God. Like I thought he was actually going to do a good job, and he's a talented actor, but obviously he can only do what the director wants him to do. And he just leaned so heavily into the whole goofiness that it was just like, I can't take this guy seriously. Like he's a nutcase, right? And that's not what Lex is. And it's kind of unfair. Eisenberg's career completely got destroyed for his Lex interpretation, which we did see an evolution by the end of the movie where he became a lot more serious. You don't see that in Superman, Gunn Superman.
Because I think if we saw Lex, I guess if he's in the Nightmare timeline, I think that would have sold his Lex more.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then I hated Eisenberg's portrayal. I to this day, I'm very vocal about it. But when we saw him much more serious at the end of the movie, when he the scene I'm talking about, I was like, oh, he's much more of a normal person there. Yeah, so I would have liked to see that evolution.
That was a great scene with that, because I was like, okay, Lex, he's bald, he's more calculated, like, he's not stammering, you know, and
he's a lot more confident.
I'm fine with his portrayal, the goofy version. And again, this is when I say, oh, in the comics, because you know he's playing like a version that not a lot of people probably read in the comics. And of course, Zach wanted to do a total juxtaposition too. Like, got this scrawny tech genius, you know, against Superman. So that's what Zack Snyder was trying to do. It didn't land for everybody, right? But again, just like Superman was going through an arc, Lex was too. Just like Batman going through an arc. You know, the cyborg character. You know, Zach has a lot of arcs. You know, for everyone. So that the finished version of his Lex, I think, would have been good enough.
Would have been the Lex that we're used to seeing, the much more serious, calculated, conniving type of Lex. That's 10 steps ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, so he, you know, definitely was taking a chance, starting him off kind of goofy, kind of, you know, scrawny like.
Yeah, I think he just went overboard on the performance in the beginning.
Mr. J said, "Man of Tomorrow, Dumb and Dumber." Y'all, this is see, y'all going too far now. We got Mandy Zorel here. This is a Sil Nation's own Supergirl. Of course, saying I really hope Supergirl's a good movie because I love that character.
I mean, it's sad to see what's being done to these beloved characters. Honestly, it's just.
I think there's at least one other person that, because I think the movie's gonna be decent. So I at least know Sil Nation Supergirl is gonna like it probably. So it'll at least be two of us that will like the film over here. So let's see. Let's catch up. I'm behind my comments here. They jumped on me. Okay, here we go. They were talking about the extension. Yeah, the lack thereof. Oh, yeah, I want to throw this to you, Jules, because we talked about James Gunn Safran's 6-month extension. Netflix keeps coming out saying, hey, we're going to keep, you know, the execs in general.
No, we know what execs they're keeping. They got the longer extensions. They got real extensions.
The Luca Abdi are already locked in,
They're
right?
Locked in.
At least to 2028. And it may even be beyond already. We don't, you know, so that's one thing. There's a article came out. Netflix publicly named HBO Max execs, HBO execs, Casey Bloys, and the people that's behind Penguin and, you know, House of the Dragon, you know, so Netflix saying, no, they're staying put as well. I'm finding this kind of weird though, because it's like, again, when they come out and say, okay, we're keeping the Warner Brothers staff, you know, it's the Luca Abdi execs. They're naming HBO execs, and there's still no word in DC. I mean, isn't that? I'm just saying, for fans of James Gunn out there, shouldn't that be something to be nervous about? Like
they are nervous because they're being. In the beginning, when all this came out, they were being super obnoxious and aggressive with their comments online, and then they've kind of like calmed down a bit since then. After they stopped feeling the need to have to defend him because they're looking stupid. Because you've got to read between the lines. They basically told you who they want back. And it looks like they're kind of just waiting to see how Man of Tomorrow does before they make a decision on DCU. They might roll it back into WB instead of having it be its own thing. I mean, they only gave him an extension up until Man of Tomorrow comes out. That tells you everything you need to know right there. If you have half a brain, you know, if you've worked in corporate, you know how these things work.
Well, this is business. I mean, that's telling. Contracts is telling. Like, you know, I do contract work, and like, if I'm doing an assignment, and I was doing it for like 18 months, and they say, we'll usually when I re-up, it's it could be 6, 12, 18. And if they come to me and say, I will give you a 3-month extension, I'd be like, dang, like I ain't got no confidence in me. Like, it's like, this is like the lowest possible extension.
Exactly.
You know, and so, you know, when they're saying, oh, the Luca Abdi, y'all good, and like they're naming people and HBO, y'all good, you know, people are waiting for them to name DC so they can kind of have a sigh of relief. And Gunn's not even confident. He's like, you know, they may keep me, they may not. Like I think he's like ready to like make Man of Tomorrow and just be like, hey, okay, I'm done. You know,
I'm sure he has a seat waiting for him back at Disney if he wants it.
You know, Feige will immediately pick him back up. And that works. See, the word of mouth thing that I was trying to say with Superman is that, you know, you got that rush of Gunn fans at first, and then Guardians 3 legged it out because it was an established franchise and it was Marvel. And you didn't get that same effect with Superman. And I think that's what Gunn is kind of realizing, like, hey, you know.
I think people really tried to downplay the power that the Marvel moniker has. James Gunn didn't sell any of those movies. What sold those movies was Marvel. You can't just assume it was him and then pluck him over to DC and think he's going to have the same success. We saw that didn't work at all with all of his movies.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of pressure on Man of Tomorrow, and the business side of this, like I said, Netflix, they're going to be realistic. I'm already hearing what they want to do on the streaming side. So it's going to be some restructuring of as far as DC content, DC studios. When Netflix gets in the building, if everything closes, they're going to restructure it in a way where it's like, okay, we're going to do all the like the DC streaming stuff, and will they just give theatrical DC to DeLuca and Abdi, at that point, and just be like, we're not going to step on each other's toes. We're going to do our thing, and we trust what y'all doing. Or they may say, hey, we want this theatrical. Do they want to give it to, again, DeLuca, Abdi, or keep Gunn and Safran? You probably won't need Safran there anymore after Netflix is in the building. You know what I mean? It's just,
why would they pay for a whole separate studio when they really don't have to? You just, with these mergers and acquisitions, one thing that always gets slashed is headcount. Whether they're going to say they're going to keep everybody or whatever, they're not going to be paying 2 people for one role when they can just keep one, and they're going to keep their own people. They're going to prioritize Netflix's people, unless Warner Brothers has like a heavy hitter that obviously they want to keep, like a DeLuca and Abdi, like the people that do Game of Thrones.
Right, yeah, for sure. I mean, they, like I said, it's gonna be straight business, and I think the writing's on the wall because of the contract situation already.
Yep.
I really
loud and clear.
And I think Gunn can earn his extension if managed tomorrow. And I don't think he's going to blow it away like that. But
no, he needs to blow Netflix out of, blow them away completely. Yeah. Going to be like, all right, immediate extension, blank slate. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, that's really where we're at. If it's more of the same, it's like, okay, that was a nice run, Gunn. Pack it
tried.
up.
Yeah, exactly. But we're aiming for more.
I'm just saying, just business, not personal. So, who should be DCU Batman? I'm bad at casting. I think the way Gunn is casting stuff is going to be someone completely unknown,
or someone that's
sell it.
That's fan cast.
I mean, if that's the case, you get Jensen Ackles. I think he'll be great.
I think
DCU Batman.
I think he's too pretty for Gunn. I don't think he'll go with Jensen Ackles.
He's too pretty for Gunn.
Yeah,
that's deep.
I mean, if you look at the people that he usually casts, they're not, that good looking.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed. So Fernando here says, after the second Guardian of the Galaxy, we knew James Gunn was the main reason for success. Why do you think there's a lot of outrage when he was unfairly fired? They had to hire him back. I mean, I'm not going to take away from Gunn. He did a trilogy, Guardians of the Galaxy.
But you also can't take away that he had a whole team with him that also had a big part of putting all this together. He didn't just have complete control over everything. Well, Feige was there. There were multiple writers.
Yeah. The Marvel magic is what helped kick off the first Guardians film. And then as far as actually concept in the story, that was Nicole Perlman. Every time I mentioned her name on Twitter, I was getting banned from Twitter because I was talking about
because there was a whole propaganda campaign that basically wanted you to act like she never existed when she is really the brains behind the whole operation, and they let her go and they gave all the credit to James Gunn. So he tried to steal her writing credit. She fought for it, and actually she still is credited as a co-writer. Right. She came up with all the roster and everyone for Guardians and the background stories. Gunn came in and was like, let's add a Walkman. That's what he did. He gave his notes.
He added his jokes and stuff. Now, Guardians 2 is all him, and also Guardians 3. I mean, he has help, but Guardians 3, I thought is the best film he's made. But again, it's coming off of that Marvel,
right,
and the foundation, right.
The DC work that he did was all that support that he had at Marvel was completely stripped away. Now all you have is Gunn. He's at the helm. He's the Feige. He's the writer and director. He chooses his team to put around him. And yet his films did not succeed. So that tells you stuff. Yeah. That's all you need to know about his capabilities and his skill set versus when he had support at Marvel.
Yeah, because he's taken on not just his directing, / writing, he's the Feige on top of that with DC.
Right.
And, now some people could say, okay, this is just the start of his DC. And that's true. And if Warner Bros. Wasn't selling right now, I would tell you Gunn would have gotten his 6 to 8 years easily.
Yeah.
But when Netflix coming in the building, when Netflix coming in, other execs is like, okay, if this ain't hitting, is that a raw return for him? I mean, you got to put up the numbers. That's all it comes down to. Like
Look,
everything we're talking about. Yeah.
It all comes down to numbers, exactly what you were saying. They want to see
Mm-hmm.
massive profits. They don't want to see a couple million here, a couple million there, especially when they're about to spend tens of billions of dollars, almost nearly $100 billion just for these IPs. And DC is one of their biggest IPs. They're not going to be okay with just doing $10 million in profit on a movie.
Yeah. Or even,
even 50. Like that's,
like 100, I think would be too low for a huge brand.
Like a Superman? No way.
You got Brainiac. Like that's one thing I'm just. We talked about the day they cast Brainiac.
Yeah, I think we filmed that day.
Yeah, and I was like, again, I should be feeling like excitement this every time an announcement. Like I should be like, oh my god!
Like the RDJ announcement as Dr. Doom should have been equivalent to the Brainiac announcement.
Yep. Or at least just I understand RDJ a lot of built in, but still Marvel was on such a losing streak.
Brainiac, yeah.
And like just the thought of RDJ coming back, and people didn't figure out like, okay, well, how is he coming back? They were just like, just RDJ's back, that's excitement. That's real excitement for this genre, and that's what I'm wanting DC to get back to. And it's just, this is where we're at. With that. So, before we get to the Zack Snyder thing, one more quick thing. I know we kind of went down memory lane for a moment there, but definitely want Jules' thoughts on this real quick here. This Batman, DCU Batman, and I'm gonna start treating this stuff like if they're even gonna make this film.
Exactly. That's the first thing to come out of my mouth. Like if it gets better,
that's the first thing.
You can make as many treatments as you want.
But it's come out. See, all this time when Gunn first announced the slate and at La Quinta Inn at one of them one of them side rooms and banquet rooms at La Quinta Inn, you had Brave the Bold, and everyone was like, okay, who's going to write this Batman? And initially, I was like, okay, this could work. Having you already have Matt Reeves Batman. We already got Batfleck on the mind. If you're going to do like something different for DCU Batman, maybe this will work. But now we had time to see how Gunn set up his DCU. And that's why I'm just starting off like this. I'm saying, like, I wonder if they should even do this film, because how much different are you going to be from Reeves? And like, if you're going to do another no-name Batman, like, is that really going to matter? Netflix may come in and be like, nah. Either Reeves is done, and this happens, or just don't do a Batman if you're going to continue to do Reeves. It's just in my opinion.
I just looked up her filmography, and I don't know if she's the right person for this.
So she did The Flash, right?
The Flash was.
Let me be clear. It was like 50. Almost 50 people touched the Flash.
Can't put it all on her.
She polished it off at the end. Now, I like the Flash film. Okay, so this is where we may disagree out here, but I that's a film I probably watch it at least once a month. I like the Michael Keaton stuff. It's bittersweet because that was a big part of my 2022 stories, was talking about Cavill was supposed to be at the end, setting up Man of Steel 2. So it's bittersweet watching that film, like in a weird way. Like it hurts me to watch it, but it brings back memories watching the Flash film. So a lot of people are dragging her being the writer of DCU Batman based off the Flash. Now, you said you shouldn't put that all on her, the Flash film.
Yeah, because
if you didn't like it.
Yeah, because that movie has gone through so many different directors and so many different treatments. It's not just on her. Granted, who knows what elements were kept from before, how much power she actually had to keep stuff in it. Like, did she have any power to be like, hey, this microwavable baby scene is kind of iffy, like maybe we should take that out? Like, we don't know. So I wouldn't put it all on her.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Now, you personally, Jules, I don't know if we really talked about the Flash much, but you thought it was total garbage, or did you even watch it?
I'm not watching it. I didn't watch it. It looked like garbage in the trailer. Like I can tell if a movie's gonna be shit just by looking at the trailer, which is again the point of trailers. It's not my style. It's a goofy mess. It was all over the place. And when a movie is in pre-production hell for as long as The Flash was, and had so many people in and out, you already know it's going to be a Frankenstein mess, and it's usually not good.
That's exactly what it was. Frankenstein type film. But again, I found some enjoyable parts of it. I think the worst thing I can say about The Flash, though, like seriously, is they didn't finish the CGI, and like Zaslav didn't want to put any more money. Like you said, it was in development hell all those years, and Ezra Miller was going through some legal stuff, which actually Ezra Miller was cleared of that stuff. Just want to throw that out there. But at that time, that was terrible timing. That's why.
Yeah.
Because I had a source that knew Ezra Miller pretty well during that time, and they were basically saying they were coming up with those accusations because they knew his film was going to come out, and they wanted to get paid off so they could avoid the bad press. And Ezra Miller actually fought the charges, and he won. But it killed his headline film. As far as they couldn't market it,
it killed his career through the film. He's done as an actor.
I mean, I think there's a second chances out there. I think but you headlining a summer film, a DC film, and you couldn't even do marketing for it because people were having questions of you, choking women and whatever they were accusing them of, grooming people, and
they basically canceled him. He was like the last person to be successfully canceled.
Yeah, so that sucks. That happened to. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of factors in The Flash not turning up well. But I think the biggest thing was they cut the funding and they didn't finish the CGI. And then, of course, they took out Cavill and Ben in the end. That was stupid. That was very stupid. So that's our feelings of The Flash. But with her writing DCU Batman, Gunn, since they announced it, Gunn was keeping hidden who was writing this film this whole time. And maybe for good reason.
He just brought back the whole team because you got Andy Muschietti directing again, and then you have
and she's right,
Christina Hodson coming back as a writer,
and they make it the same cinematographer. I don't know, but
most likely he's been doing the stuff with Gunn too, right?
He did he did the Superman. So they may bring him back for that. So you looked at her filmography. Is it her lack of experience that will probably worry you about this?
What worries me, all right, this is not PC, I would say. People are probably like, oh my god, she said this, but it's true.
It's like everything you say.
Okay. When I see a woman working on something that is like a male dominated genre, I'm just gonna, usually it doesn't end well. And there's outliers, right? But a lot of times they just kind of miss the mark. And a movie like Batman is supposed to be extremely masculine. Like, that's a main part of his brand. And I feel like her filmography seems to be very like female dominated, which is fine if that's what the movie calls for. Right. However, I don't want to see a neutered Batman. And that would be my concern.
I mean, we kind of see her. Well, we're going to see a lot of her style when we see Supergirl. Because she wrote that. Supergirl coming up.
That's a female-centered story, so.
Right. So I just wonder how she would juggle that. And again, the Lobo stuff. Lobo may not be in it that much, but so I do wonder. I'm trying to think. What else does she have on her? She has a lot of future stuff coming out. Like again,
Birds of Prey.
Oh, okay. There we go. There we go.
And then she did Bumblebee, the Bumblebee movie.
Bumblebee was actually, I thought, decent.
I've heard mixed things.
In my opinion. Now, the timing is a lot, in Hollywood and these franchises that came after Transformers finally bombed. Like it was for years, Transformers will just, wake up and put out a film and they make $1 billion. Internationally would give them like, 900 million alone. And you're just eating off of that. And then Transformers finally bombed with The Last Night. That was a terrible film. And so they finally lost money. So Transformers did a soft reboot. And that's when Bumblebee came in,
right? And
it was actually a solid together film. So she launched her career off that. So she can do decent stuff. Birds of Prey, I'm not a fan of that film.
A lot of people
fan of that at all.
I think that's the common. That's what most people feel about that movie. They just don't like it.
I'm just not a fan. Like that was right before COVID. And
Yep. Hmm.
DC was trying to they were trying to fake reboot but still keep the Snyderverse actors, and it was just some weird
Yeah,
stuff.
it was weird.
That didn't land, and with no Joker in that, like, how do you write a Harley Quinn film with no Joker? First off, who even has the mind to want to do that? That's
Well,
one
they
thing.
did a lot of Harley Quinn stuff without the Joker in the comics and in cartoons, so I'm not surprised that they did that.
Well,
too. I don't think that was the worst part about the movie.
Well, because
Harley Quinn
let's say
actually
the animated.
Harley Quinn actually made that movie watchable for me. I saw it in the theater. Her scenes were the best ones. Like I would have rather watched a Harley Quinn movie rather than all the supporting characters.
That's another thing too. It was too many moving parts in there. The Huntress didn't land for me. I don't know why they went that direction. I forget the young girl, Cassandra Cain, I think.
Oh,
was
yeah.
the little girl. I don't know why it's just the way Hodgson used as far as known comic book characters.
Right.
Didn't vibe for me. And when I say the Joker connection, I mean, yes, the animated series and you got the actual Harley Quinn animated series. You see, again, Harley Quinn independent of the Joker. So maybe that could work for some people. Now the comics,
he doesn't need to be tied to the Joker all the time. I would definitely disagree with you on that.
I wouldn't say need. I think that film needed it. And that's probably what I mean. Like
that
maybe
film
if it was a
needed
better
something.
film. Yeah.
Like, the problem with that film too, and this might be a Christina Hodson preference. A lot of the comic booky aspects of these characters were taken out. Like, no one wore their traditional suit or anything close to it. Like, the Huntress is badass. Like, I want to see her in live action with that suit on. Why was she just in regular
she was
clothes?
like a street vigilante. Like,
yeah, I felt like I was watching Daredevil on Disney Plus.
It felt like a TV show, a series level again of the characters. Right. But like I said, that film, because like we said, and we agreed that not everything has to be like the comics, but if you're going to change aspects, like, I just feel the film should have been better. And since it wasn't, then I'm like, okay, why'd you even try to do that story? I thought it would be a slam dunk Harley and Joker. But that's my take, my divisive take on that. So, let's see. Let's just comment real quick. I want to see what they're saying. It said they can take their time with the Batman movie. It needs to be right due to Matt Reeves' Batman. But this is the problem. Again, if Warner Bros. Wasn't for sale right now, then I'm all for take your time, right? Gunn would have got 6 to 8 years to figure out. And you have Matt Reeves' Batman coming out 2027. You can make your Brave and the Bold 28, 29 even. You don't have that luxury right now.
And they're not greenlighting. They're not greenlighting anything until Man of Tomorrow comes out. So they have 6 months to create an impressive script.
Yeah, I think because you can't really announce nothing off the heels. Because again, I don't think Supergirl is going to do great. So you can't announce something.
Have a year. So I mean, I meant tomorrow. So they have a year.
No, I know what you meant. And it's because you got Supergirl this year. You got Clayface this fall, and that's a low budget DC horror, which actually could work, but that's not going to save your job doing low budget. I just think that's cool for content. And again, I'm the guy. I take everything. Is what
that's just to have. That's just to have multiple things out in the year.
I'm just a little salty for that. That's fine. But you can't greenlight this Brave and the Bold. Like I said before, Man of Tomorrow, you can't, because you don't even know if you're going to be there. Like, you can announce this film now and say, oh, we're going to start filming end of 2027, and you're going to probably be fired before that. And they're just going to pull it off the slate. Like, they're like, no, you're not.
They're not going to risk it. That would just look bad on the studio.
So that's what I mean, though, as far as this, take your time. That was true 6 months ago. Now, that's not, you don't got that time. You don't have that luxury of time anymore. So, but as far as her, I want to make our takes clear with, I think Gunn knew it was going to be a backlash of her. She's pretty much written every script. If Gunn didn't write it, she's writing the script for DC stuff. So I think Gunn knew it was going to be a backlash. He's very present on social media, more than he should be as a co-CEO of DC Studios. And this leaked out, because Gunn was asked who was writing this a couple months ago. And he said, I'm not going to reveal it. I'm like, good.
It was the most obvious choice the whole time, besides himself.
So I think Gunn knew she, Christina Hodgins, she's attached to that Flash film for better or worse, for fair or unfair.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She is. Again, there's mixed, and see, these are all mixed views. I like the Flash. You don't. You like Birds of Prey. I don't. So we're 50-50. She's already 50-50, just a small sample size, right? Just between us. So imagine everyone else in the general audience. So it's just, this wasn't a slam dunk, pick. And I definitely didn't want Gunn to write this either. I didn't want him to write it.
No, I don't want either one of them. Like, I don't think either one of them would really understand what a masculine figure should look like. And I don't want to hear nothing about no toxic masculinity. Like, this is Batman. He's like the alpha,
Now that we got He-Man on the big screen again, like, no, this toxic man, no, let's cancel that.
And I don't want to see emo twink Batman either, So when that dies with the Reeves verse, I don't want to see that ever again.
No, that's terrible. That's terrible. So it's mixed. It's the best to sum this up. This is a mixed reaction because she has not been a slam dunk, or just different audiences with DC directly up to this point. So that's kind of where we're at with that. And I think Gunn was hiding her for a reason. But I don't know what he expected. Like, it had to come out eventually,
right?
You know what I mean? Who was right?
I mean, he kept like this movie, The Brave and the Bold, was like one of the biggest announcements in his slate that he was really championing since he got hired. So you can't hide now.
Yeah, it's like, you got to just show us what you got. Who do you got on it? And
what do you have in your mind for this?
You should get the best people possible for this. And again, I'm all for obviously I'm all for talented women that there's talented writers, directors,
of course,
and everything, but there's a fit involved here, and
superheroes might not be her fit. And that's
may not, you know what I mean? And it's like, whatever she added to the Flash film, I don't know for sure. But that's why I say Supergirl. I'm going to reserve a lot. Right now I'm saying, nah, I'm iffy about her writing this. If Supergirl comes out and I think she's landing stuff. Now, again, the female aspect, you're saying the star and female role, you still can't judge her doing Batman off of Supergirl. I think was the point you was making. So it's up in the air with her, and that's unfortunate because I don't want a lot of people kind of going after her now, and it's like, hey, she's trying to get these checks, y'all. I ain't gonna diss her personally about this, but
look, I mean, there's a good chance this movie will never get made. So let her make her money by writing scripts.
Yeah, because she'll still get paid. Yeah, she wrote the script, so that's so she's gonna
It'll
win
be
regardless.
In the Warner Brothers vault somewhere, collecting dust.
Just like Batgirl, she wrote Batgirl, and that got shelved.
Oh my, she wrote Batgirl. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really bad.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, man, I wish it was like a slam dunk thing. Because, like I said, even though you like Birds of Prey, it's a divisive feeling over that film.
I mean, I like it for Harley Quinn. I like Harley Quinn. Like, I thought those scenes were very entertaining, but the rest of the movie was just like, it's a popcorn flick.
Right. So you need something a little more solid. You're talking about Batman.
Substance. Yeah. Batman is a heavy character.
We got a comment here saying, I'm in the minority where I don't like the idea of incorporating Damian Wayne. Don't want to see him being a father figure as far as Batman being a father figure. I guess, will you have a take on that, Jules?
I like Damian Wayne. I eventually want to see him in the theater or in the movie. However, I don't like the idea of just jumping right. Like, that's the first time we ever see Batman as like with Damian. We haven't even gotten real Robins yet, and we're already jumping over to Damian. Like, I want to see one day we might get a Batman franchise where we actually see the progression, like the full progression of his career. Like, that would be so ideal.
That'd be nice.
But like, it doesn't seem like that's a priority ever for any studio that's making any Batman movie. But that would be amazing. Just give me like 8 movies of like his entire career. Just show us everything. Show us the Robin, show us the rogue, with all the rogues, and all that comes with it. I want to see all of his love interests. Like, he has so much depth to his story. I don't understand. Like, you just be printing money. Hire someone young and just go for it.
Hey, Schumacher could have did it, but they didn't like Batman and Robin. I'm just saying,
it wasn't the time for that. Now it's like this is the era for it. Like, we take these movies seriously. We actually have good production behind them usually, especially for something like Batman. Like, let's do that. Why hasn't that been done?
like you said, it kind of writes itself. You know, you do the Dick Grayson, then he grows up, let him become Nightwing.
Yeah, I want to see
bring
Nightwing. I
in-
want to see Red Hood. I want to
do the
see.
Jason Todd. Yeah, people
Yeah.
want to see that. That's like 3 films right there. That whole arc of
Yeah.
Jason Todd, and he gets reckless, then he dies, and then, you know, so you got a lot right there. Tim
So much.
Drake, you know, he's people like him. You know, he
He
got a
could
fan
be there.
base.
He's just there.
You know, then do Damien. That's what I'm saying. Like, we talked about 6 movies right there
Exactly. before we get to Damien. Right.
So,
Like, show us.
so,
I want
yeah.
to see the progression where he actually, like, he's like a foster father and he's a father figure in that way, but then it's completely different when he finds out he has a biological child. And then, like, how would that dynamic shift in his brain and how he acts and the responsibility. Like, it's a whole different dynamic. And it's just, there's so much that could be said with it, and we're just not getting it.
And again, you know, with what Gunn is doing, like you said, he's not even allowing this stuff to kind of build up. I mean, with Superman, he's kind of doing it, I guess. We'll see how he expands. But as far as with Batman, I don't like jumping kind of to the end already. You know,
and I know Snyder decided to go with a much older Batman, but I never liked the idea of Batman being older than Superman. Like, I always feel like they should be like colleagues in a way where they should be about the same age. That way they're rivals, but they're relatable, but they still have that little bit of like suspiciousness for each other.
The world's finest animated crossover. That was like one of the perfect depictions of Clark and Bruce, and like you said, they were around the same age, you know. And Bruce was trying to bag Lois, and it's like that was a perfect perfect setup.
Just take that and put it in the big screen, and it'll make $1 billion.
That actually would. Like, but everybody wants their own writing credits. They don't want to, you know what I mean? They don't want to adapt stuff like they used to. I was saying this on my last stream that, you know, I think we're gone from the days of straight adaptation, like from panel to screen, like Zack Snyder's Watchmen. You know, Watchmen is straight from the graphic novel.
300, I think, was
300 is
similar too.
And so but like I said, we can't get that anymore. Like, even Gunn, leading up to Superman, despite how you feel about the film, he kept saying, "Oh, it's like All-Star Superman and all that." And you watch the film, it ain't nothing like the comic. Like, he barely took any aspects, you know, from the comic. With Supergirl, he finally came out. They were selling Supergirl, saying it's gonna be like Woman of Tomorrow.
Yep.
You know, and now Gunn has come out and says, "Actually, we just took elements. It's not really."
There's like one page.
Yeah, just took like her outfit. That's about it. So I'm like, man, so you're not even really. Now, he hired Tom King as a part of his writing team, the guy that wrote Woman of Tomorrow. So he's going to get his credit. But all these other comic book writers, like in the comments, are saying we need more comic book writers in the room. If you adapt,
they're not being heard, so it doesn't matter.
Like Scott Snyder. If someone does Core of the Owls, you got to pay Scott Snyder. And I think people are avoiding introducing some of these characters. They're like, they want to give people credit. You know, it's crazy.
It's a shame because there's some really good. Batman has some of the best stories in comics. They should be their panel to screen. Like, it's print money.
Like, Zach wasn't afraid to be like, you know, I'm giving all the credit. You know, what was it? Alan Moore.
Like, he's like, I'm just a fan. Like, I'm doing them.
And visually, I mean, it's to this day, people like that's probably one of the best adaptations ever. From a comic to screen. And we just, like I said, those days may be gone. We may never get nothing like that again. Which is crazy. So he says here in the comment, I think Clayface, if does amazing, saves his job because he can take a low budget film and make money. Studios love that. So this is my full thoughts on if can Gunn save his job. I think best case scenario for him is he could remain some kind of creator if these films do well. I don't think he's going to call the shots. Like I said, I think when Netflix comes in, they're going to be like, okay, this is, again, assuming Gunn makes money with these next 3 films. Okay, Gunn, you can flesh out your world some, but hey, we want you to make this film. Like, he's not going to have the final say.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If he stays, right? I think with the contract as is, I don't think he's going to be there, you know.
I don't think so either. Yeah,
so that's kind of where I'm at with that. Clayface, low budget. They spent $40 million, they're saying, on the film. I mean, I don't expect it to make over 200 million. You know, I just don't personally.
The only way
who knows Clayface
without Batman, right? Like,
that's
so
what I'm saying.
Unless this movie makes like $1 billion, and even if then, like, so you could take that just goes to show again that he can take like a unknown character and make them somewhat successful. But yet, with this massive IP, with this built-in fan base, you can't make that successful. And I think that's actually going to hurt him more than help him, because his whole purpose of being there is to make these IPs even bigger.
Right, exactly. And so, like I said, yeah, it comes out of Man tomorrow. It has to slap. It has to create new fans. It has to do, and it's unfair pressure. Like, and there's fans of James Gunn, you know, they watch this, and I understand if that's not fair, but this is business.
You know, I think it's from a business standpoint, it's very fair. You've already had a number of movies. You know, you had your chance to impress, and it's not working.
And that's nothing with Clayface. You know, this isn't like Joker. General audience knows Joker from the old, you know, Batman '66 shows. Like they know Joker. They know so you can make a low budget Joker. In the first one, low budget, and it blew up.
Right.
Now the second one, you know, it's consenting thoughts, but like I thought the second one was actually okay. But again, I'm not watching
a musical.
So, but the point, you can get away with a Joker film, low budget, and you will have general audience, you know, interested. Like, okay, let's see, you know, even Batman's not in it, but it's Joker.
Yeah.
Clayface doesn't have that same luxury. Clayface is like, what is this? Okay, it's DC. You got a no-name cast. What's selling Clayface? You know, and I don't think it's going to get that much.
I don't even know who's playing Clayface.